Hola guys and girls, and welcome to the first team builder of the GBA versus NPA League, where we are up in our first matchup versus TheCoiceSpecs, coach of the Orlando Magikarps. And yeah, there's not too much about the history. I never played it before. This is the first week. I do know some results of other matches, but obviously I'm not going to spoil them here. So yeah, we just hop right into his team. He got Jirachi, Suicune, Arcanine, Beware, Masquerain, Mega Venusaur, Donphan, and Goodra, Donphan being his Z-move user. So, probably the first thing you're asking, why the heck is Donphan his Z-move users? And my answer to that is I have no idea. But I'm a bit scared, because it's like, I'm the Donphans, he has Donphan, and not only does he have a Donphan, he has to play with it, it's a Z-captain as well, so I am aware that some shenanigans might happen in this match, but other than that, of course, I don't know as well, guys. I don't know why Donphan, why not something else? Like, to be fair, his team is not the best Z-move options, but I would pick something else, but that's all I can say. But either way, that's his team. Good thing to know with his team is that his fastest one is actually Jirachi, which is great news for my team, because like you already know, when I talked about the draft analysis, my team would have some trouble versus a team with like these speed 115, 110 mon, stuff like that. Thankfully, he doesn't have that, so yeah, we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's his team. Now let's just go right into my team. We can talk about his strats. It's only 8-mon draft, so the team builder shouldn't be too long. But either way, we start with Azumarill. It's a belly drum variant, of course, Normalium Z. And the first thing you see is, of course, he has a Mega Venusaur, which is a great check to that. This thing is not necessary to sweep. I have a Normalium Z with Player of Double Edge, Aqua Jet, and Belly Drum. First of all, +6, Jolly, huge power Belly Drum. Belly drummed up Double Edge, does OHKO a physics defensive Venusaur. The question is, of course, do I outspeed even Venusaur, because Venusaur is faster than Azumarill. He could speed creep, he could have put enough speed in Mega Venusaur to, yeah, always outspeed like a max speed Jolly Azumarill. The speed I have right here is so that I'm faster than a Mega Venusaur, which wants to speed creep a max speed Adamant Azumarill. So, I can't still risk it with Azumarill, really. Once I'm in with Azumarill versus Mega Venusaur, like, I can't really risk it if he's faster or slower than me, because if he's faster, he just kills me. So I will have to scout for his speed first. I do have ways to do that, but I'm not gonna belly drum up since either the Venusaur is weakened enough to dive +6 Aqua Jet, or I know exactly what the speed is. And in case I find out that the Mega Venusaur is actually faster than Azumarill and it will never be weakened enough for +6 Aqua Jet, that's where I have the options where to just go for like a Normalium Z Double Edge, which will do, basically will nuke everything on his team bar and Jirachi. So that is great news as well. I like the, like having two options with Normalium Z, not only Z Belly Drum but Z Double Edge as well. And then play with just his main stab. Like if I would have Liquidation right here, would have to go for Double Edge versus the Goodra, and Goodra has pretty high HP, so I would lose a lot of my health, which I don't really want. So that's why I have Player as well over Liquidation. Of course it can miss, but it just OHKOs Goodra, and in general, like once I have +6, everything which is weak to water will die to Aqua Jet, and I don't really need any Liquidation or Waterfall or something like that. But yeah, that's a Azumarill for you. Like I said, a lot of work in the game has to be done beforehand. This thing can put in the work, but like I said, I have both options to go, just with a nuke or potentially the sweeping variant. Next up, we got Electric Kitty, the Life Orb, Zera Aura, Plasma Fist, Knockoff, Volt Switch, Grass Knot, Max Attack, plus Attack Nature, 76 in Special Attack, and enough speed for a Choice Scarf. Beware. Yeah, that's something you can actually do with Zera Aura. That's what I like about this mon as well. Like usually, you look at this mon, okay, I just need to be faster than Jirachi, and that means I need like just a little more, like 160 something is Jirachi. So yeah, I don't even know if I need speed to outspeed a max speed Jirachi, but yeah, then you can just go lower in the tiers. His base 80s with a Scarf I would still be faster, but the Beware, in case Choice Scarf Beware, I would be still faster than that. But yeah, I'm max attack with Plasma Fist, Knockoff, Volt Switch, Grass Knot. Plasma Fist, of course, main stab. Volt Switch there for momentum, because he has Mega Venusaur, which is a great switch into this. Sadly, I don't really get like flying, good flying or psychic coverage. And then I have Knockoff and Grass Knot, because that combination of this Adamant, basically Adamant knockoff with Life Orb plus the Life Orb Grass Knot always kills Donphan. Doesn't matter which variant it is. If I go for knockoff first, I either knock off, I don't know, the Rindo Berry, the Assault Death. Grass Knot will always kill off the damage. Doesn't matter if he's max BDF, because then knockoff does more damage, or he's max physical defense, because then Grass Knot does more damage. The combination of a knockoff plus into a Grass Knot will always kill Donphan. Doesn't matter what variant he is. Since I get rid of his item in case he has like something. But yeah, other than that, this thing is just there to be fast and do a lot of damage with Plasma Fist once the Donphan is gone, because this is only electric immunity, and then I can just Volt Switch around this team as well. Since, yeah, I would have to do that versus Mega Venusaur, because all my moves and all the moves I could potentially put on the Zeraora don't do well with Mega Venusaur, which is way too bulky, and yeah, that's Zeraora for you. Next up, we got Jeff, the Mega Charizard X with Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw, Roost, and Sword Stance. He's having a Sword Stance variant over a Dragon Dance variant. First, about the speed. The speed is there for anything which wants to speed creep a max speed Jirachi. So I could have gone for the speed tie with Jirachi potentially, going with max speed. But more likely than not, Jirachi will be Choice Scarfed, and then the tie, like I would have to Dragon Dance up to even get a tie going. So that is not really something I want to do. And if he himself has to decide to go for a tie as well, if he does not choose that, the next thing he can speed creep my team is my base 90, which is the Venomoth. So once he starts speed creep that, I still faster than him. So that's basically my way of going about this. I don't really want to risk the speed tie with Charizard versus anything, so I rather know that I will lose speed tie if he's max speed, or I can potentially win it if he's like a slower variant and only tries to outspeed my Venomoth. But yeah, that's Charizard for you. The stat is just all I need. Lab is of course a nuke with everything, and then I got Dragon Claw for stuff like the Arcanine, stuff like the not Mega Steel for the Goodra, and the Suicune. I could have put Thunder Punch there, but then I can't hit the Goodra anymore. So I have Dragon Claw, and plus 2 Dragon Claw does 2 even physically defensive, what you call it, Suicune, because of the +2 boost. But yeah, it's Sword Stance. Like, see, this is there to basically break his team down. Since his team is so slow, he needs a Scarfer to outspeed this thing, and or max speed Jirachi, which like I said, I'm not too afraid of. And so I don't need Dragon Dance up, I can just Sword Stance up with anything and then just nuke something. Nothing really can take 1 or 2 hits from this after I get a Sword Stance up. And since his team is so slow, I thought that is a very nice way to go around. But yeah, that's basically Charizard. They're just there to go in, go for a Sword Stance, and then kill something. That's the job of Charizard. Or even kill something, or kill even a few more. Like, you will get 1 kill, then he brings in his range killer, and then I can decide, do I want to like risk it, do I switch out, blah blah blah, all this good stuff. But it's just to break the team down. It's the break of the team. And Azumarill, kind of 50-50, could be breaker, could be a sweeper, depending on the Mega Venusaur. This thing is just straight up breaker. It's not like, it could potentially sweep if you like not bringing a Scarfer, but that's very unlikely. Like, I'm not think like you need something to outspeed at least a Charizard, even at +0. You can't just have a Jirachi with no Scarf as you like to win a speed tie versus Mega Charizard to not lose to it. So yeah, in case that happens, this case might even be a sweeper with just +2 and then Flab's Dragon Claw go through his team. But yeah, that's all about Jeff. Now we got the Luftwaffe, the Skarmory with Bracebird, Roost, Spikes, Defog, Rocky Helmet. This thing is just a Rocky Helmet to like be my main switch into a Choice Scarf Jirachi potentially, because if he goes for Iron Head, if he goes for U-turn, I can slowly chip it down. Spikes over Stealth Rock, because like you see, I don't have Miltank on the team. Spikes actually only has a bring to his team because basically all his mons are grounded. And he still has the Dawnfan, and the Masquerain is not grounded, never mind that, but he has the Dawnfan and Jirachi, which are resistant to Stealth Rocks, so 1 layer of Spike already does more damage to those. The only things that would do more damage to Stealth Rocks are the Arcanine, and of course the Masquerain, in case he brings that. So I rather have Spikes, because then I can Spike stack him and basically get a lot of damage on a lot of his team, and wear down the Jirachi, which of course is a bit annoying. I can wear down the Venusaur with more Spikes as well, which helps the Azumarill. But yeah, then first let's talk about the spread. The defense is there so that I can take a Choice Banded two Choice Banded superpowers from a Beware, because on that I don't really have switches to that. And then the rest is Spadef, and then the speed, like you can see right here, this is no fancy speed, like I want to speed creep something. This is just exactly the same speed as the Azumarill. So this is my way of scouting how fast the Venusaur is, because if he's faster than this Skarmory, I know he's faster than the Azumarill as well. If I switch out with Venusaur and he switch out as well, and he switched out before me, I know he's faster than me and stuff like that. So Skarmory is my main way to scout without having to put Azumarill out there how fast the Venusaur is. And yeah, and then you have Spikes, like Defog is there, like I want to Spike stack him, but Defog is there just in case he brings the Masquerain and wants to Sticky Web up me, because if he Sticky Webs up, the Jeff is not as good anymore, Zuma is not as good anymore, so I need to get rid of Sticky Webs in case he brings that. So that's why I have Defog on him. And yeah, Roost Recovery, and then Brave for just his main stab. Deals with Beware, which this is a tech for just good damage to the Mega Venusaur, which is nice, and overall just good stab. Flying move is always great, and yeah, that's Skarmory for you, pretty straightforward. Next up we got Lamp, the Venomoth with Black Slash Bug Buzz, substitute with Roost, Quiver Dance. Quiver Dance variant, enough speed to outspeed everything up to max speed Mega Venusaur. He's base 80s, he has a lot of them. He has like Venusaur, Goodra. Oh, he has 2. He has 2 base 80s, never mind me. But I think, oh, is Masquerain base 82? base 80 as well. Now I think Masquerain is 50. No, Masquerain might be 80 as well, because the good Donphan is 50, the Beware 60, and then he had a lot of 80s. So Masquerain is 80 as well. So we do a speed as well. Only have Bug Buzz is only move because we don't need more. Like his resistance to Bug Buzz is Arcanine and Beware and Masquerain. And they all of course take neutral damage due to Tinterlands. So I don't need any, I could put Psychic there, but if I only want to have one attack, because this is my check to the Mega Venusaur as well. I have Legacy Max HP, a little bit split F. This is there, so I'm not too hit KO'd by a max special attack HP Fire from the Mega Venusaur. And after a few Quiver Dances, depending on what kind of variant is, if he's more offensive, more defensive, he can't even break my sub anymore with Quiver Dance, with HP Fire. Boost of course for recovery, but Substitute is mainly there, so I switched it into Mega Venusaur. He goes like for Grass move, Slush Bomb, whatever, and then the best thing he would have to hit me is either HP Fire or like Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, something like that. If he goes Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, I get a sub up, it's basically over already, because then I got a free sub, I can Quiver Dance up. He breaks us up with the first HP Fire, I get a second Quiver Dance up, and after I have 2 Quiver Dances, even offensive Venusaur doesn't break my subs anymore with HP Fire. So yeah, and then I can just go to town, get another sub up, and basically get to +6 and sweep for his team. That's the plan of Venomoth. Just basically switch into Venusaur and set up the hell versus it. But he keeps going for HP Fire. So I mean, then I can still set up versus him, but I wouldn't be able to get a sub, and with a sub, of course, the chance of crit is always there. And in general, this thing can set up on a lot of things. A lot of his special attackers, like this Suicune, if he only is like, if he doesn't have Roar, I set up on this thing as well, because I get a few Quiver Dances up, and then he can't break my sub anymore with Scald. Same with the Masquerain, same with the Gudra potentially. If he's ChoiceSpecs, it will take a lot. But if he like has only Draco, for example, to hit me the best way, then I get just sub up. He Dracos once, gets a -2, and then I can basically set up again. And if he has Fire Blast or Flamethrower, Fire Blast only has 8 PP and can miss, and Flamethrower is of course rather weak. So after he Quiver Dance, I can set up on that thing as well. So yeah, that's Venomoth for you. My main switch into the Mega Venusaur, but other than that, you can set up a lot of things as well. Once I get a few Quiver Dances up, because we have Quiver Dances, this thing is still pretty frail, you can see right here. Then next up, we got double the Assault Vested Gallade. This is my main switch into Gudra, because if you look at my whole team, nothing switched into Gudra. Like I have Azumarill potentially, which I can take a Draco because it's immune, but if he goes for Power Whip or Slush Bomb, Azumarill goes down because I have barely any HP investment. This thing is there with the Assault Vest and this investment. This thing can take 2 ChoiceSpec Dracos, like I can take 1 ChoiceSpec Draco, modest that is, and another -2 Draco, or I can take 2 without ChoiceSpecs, like just 2 full-powered Draco Meteors. I can take this thing, and I do a lot of damage with Drain Punch or Close Combat. For coverage-wise, I have Close Combat that help out Drain Punch and Knockoff. Drain Punch is there mainly for recovery, and then I have my secondary stat, or my main stat in Close Combat, in case I just need to nuke something, like I need to kill the Gudra, for example. Like Drain Punch, of course, does very much less, but it gets me recovery, whereas Close Combat is just if in case I need to kill something, like I need it gone, I can't take another hit, then I can click Close Combat. So it had, of course, their main secondary step for the Mega Venusaur, and then knock off just stuff like the Jirachi, and in general getting rid of items. If I can get rid of ChoiceSpecs of Gudra, then I can even take a ChoiceSpecs, no, it's a roll, I think, a modest ChoiceSpecs full-powered Draco Meteor and a non-ChoiceSpecs modest Draco Meteor. There is a chance that I can lift both of them. But if I go for 1 Drain Punch, then I'm guaranteed out of range for the next one. So that's why this is nice as well. Ability, of course, this time I have Steadfast, like you see right here, so once he flinches me with Jirachi, I get a +1 speed boost. Well, here it is. If it's Pokémon flinches, it's speed raised by 1 stage. So if he's not Scarf, I need a +1 boost, I'm faster than him. And if he's Scarf, I would need 2. I don't think I would get 2, because after, like, usually you think Gallade is justified. I think you can surprise him with him once. But after he sees that I get a +1 boost, I don't think it will work again. But it might be nice to get a +1 boost, and if he's not Scarf, I can just knock the Scarf off, and then, yeah, then my Charizard is faster than him potentially as well. I can just go to town versus him. But, yeah, that's basically the full team. Like I said, main sweeper is this or this. Main breaker is again this or this. This is just for momentum grabbing and being fast and stuff, revenge killing, all the shenanigans. Spike stacking, physically defensive, especially defensive, a bit offensive as well. That's the theme. Let me of course know in the comments what you think about it. You saw the opponent's team, what you think about that. But yeah, that's all from me. I will see you for the match soon. I actually don't know if the match goes up right on the day after or on the same day. We still have some scheduling issues, but yeah, that's all from me. I will see you another time. Ciao.